Hi, I'm Kathy Mills from Short Film Edits, and I'm here with Robert Keefe for an interview today. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Could we
Good.
start this with you telling us a little bit about you?
Of course. So I was originally born and raised in Leeds, England. Not lived there for a very long time. I'm a dual US and UK citizen. I've been acting since I was a child, on and off. There were certain parts of my life where I had to take a break, and I've thankfully found myself with some form of foothold in this wonderful world that we call the vertical world, and it's been nothing but fantastic. The outreach, the friends, connections that I've made, I'm very, very grateful. So I'm based in Los Angeles, California, and yeah, I travel around. I'm very lucky that I get to do what I love doing for a living.
That's good. So, what drew you to the vertical space?
So originally, um, it was a slow period of time, at least here in LA, and probably like with most performers, I was submitting for everything and anything that caught my eye just so I could keep on set. You can keep your reps, keep being in that sort of that filming environment. Whether it was paid, unpaid, I just wanted to make sure I was still being creative.
Yeah.
And then I don't even remember what the title was or who was in it. I remember just scrolling on my phone one evening, and you know, a short film came up, and I was hooked. I wanted to watch it. I wanted to keep watching more. And then I saw uh, I saw castings on Actors Access, casting networks, and it was for these very same things. And I auditioned. I was just auditioning, doing as much as I could. The scripts have evolved slowly ever since.
Mm.
They've gotten better. The writing has become a bit more accurate, sort of with the translation aspect. And yeah, it wasn't until about a year after I started auditioning for them that I booked my first job, and it was 3 or 4 days as a major supporting role for a project, and I was driving down to Orange County every single day just to go and film this. I was being paid. It was great. I was
Yeah.
being paid to act finally, once again. Um, they had great crafty table, great snacks. The other fellow actors were great. The only thing that was different was the format of the camera.
Yep.
So used to having it being in a horizontal format, and this time it was being shot in a vertical format, and the window for where we were
Yeah.
standing, what we could do, how we could move, the framing was so much tighter. So I've said to so many people that the vertical world it's been almost like the best acting class that I could have had because I'm also being paid to learn whilst I'm working.
Yeah.
And now that I've gotten, I forget how many I've filmed now, 17 or 18,
Mm.
and it's every time you're still learning because you're constantly with new faces, new crews, you're in new locations, so you've got to learn about um, different directions for getting to somewhere. Um, Different people work at different paces, especially when I've been abroad. Uh, Much longer filming hours over in China than
Mm.
they are here in Los Angeles,
Mm.
and that in itself is its own separate sort of acting class, if you like. Again,
Mm.
and I flew over with two people who I didn't know, and then staying in a foreign country and having to adapt to their customs. It's just been a great adventure,
Mm.
and I think that's sort of the biggest thing about it. It's just been a great adventure for the whole thing because now we've
Yeah.
we've branched out to so many different cities in the US. We're filming in
Yeah.
Canada. They're filming in Australia, all around Europe, and it's very, very exciting. It's an exciting
Yeah.
time to be in this community
Yeah. It's growing. It's really growing.
constantly, and it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Okay. Um, how do things change for you creatively when you're leading versus supporting?
Um, when you, at least in my own experience, I found that I have more time to prepare for my role when I'm leading. You get given the script and the character breakdown, the storyline breakdown further in advance. When you're supporting, you still get it much further ahead of time. You have to, you definitely have to check your ego when you're
Yeah.
supporting. Because I started out supporting, and then my my second ever vertical was my first lead. So there's a bit
Okay.
of a difference there from going from just supporting and knowing that my role wasn't the focus, but it was still important to the storyline. Versus then when you're leading and there's a whole lot more responsibility on your shoulder. You have to conduct yourself better. You have to be absolutely on it. There should be no room for error when you're leading. You should always know your
Yeah.
lines. You should lead from the front. It's it's similar to being on a sports team. If you're the captain, everyone looks at you as the responsible one. You're the person everyone looks for what do we do next. You're sort of the uh, you're the person who is supposed to keep the energy up. You're the person who is supposed to make sure that everyone feels welcome and a part of the group. Whereas if you're supporting, you should follow their lead, um, and make sure that you're doing your best to help prop up from underneath.
Mm.
And that's sort of the way that I sort of feel about it. I'm sure other people feel differently, but that's yeah, I would say that's my thing. You should be more responsible and yeah, but still have fun. Having fun
Yeah.
is still the most important thing for me.
Absolutely. Yes. Okay. So you're originally from the UK. Do you
Yes.
find there is any big differences between the UK and US film industries?
So my general experiences with the UK filming industry were mostly soap opera based. Um, Growing up in the north, that was the majority of the work that was on offer. As soon as as you're getting older and becoming a teenager. When when I've been over here, it's been mostly feature work or getting into the vertical space, or a lot of commercials. The commercials are very fast paced. You can be in and out of
Yeah.
your audition in 5 minutes. It could have taken you an hour to get there. You're in and out in 5 minutes.
Wow. Okay.
I've done casting workshops over in England where I show up at whatever time it was, and I'm there for 2 hours because they want to see you with a group of people. They want to see because soap operas have such a large cast.
Yeah.
They want to see you with a big group of people, and then the small focus on family, for example.
Yeah.
Over here, I've not experienced the soap opera, the in-person soap opera casting, so I couldn't give that much of an explanation. Obviously, with the vertical space, we don't do very many in-person castings. I've done
Mm.
a small handful. Most of them are, it's mostly callbacks, or they'll want to see you on the screen themselves and have your interactions with the director, the producers, casting. So I don't know if I have enough experience from England. It's sort of going up and down the entire country. I couldn't necessarily fully speak to what all of London is like, for example.
Mm.
I couldn't speak fully to what New York was like back when I lived on the East Coast. And unfortunately, the world shut down before I was able to get a proper foothold here in
Yeah.
LA. So I'm almost still trying to find my way with what the best or which culture works best for me.
Yeah.
Um, but as it is, the self tapes they keep me busy. I love the
Mm.
vertical space. I love the fact that it's so fast paced, and it's much better than just waiting around for the next job. If I can be
Yeah,
auditioning
definitely.
5 6 things in a day, that's wonderful.
Yeah. It keeps the opportunities there. It keeps you
100%,
working. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Okay. You used to do theatre, yes?
I did a little bit of theatre,
A little
a
bit?
very small amount of theatre.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say, when was the moment you realized you wanted to transition from stage to screen?
It was when I was my introduction actually into the theatre world was purely, uh, it was purely from me feeling left out that my brother and sister were doing it and they were enjoying it so much. They have long since stopped being in the performing arts industry.
Yeah.
And I just kept on continuing. But they were both originally at a theatre school at the weekends where you would do dancing, you do singing, and you do acting. And I would do all three of those, learn my craft that way, get my confidence level up. But I never really felt fully comfortable performing on a stage, doing the dancing and the singing. And I think my parents very quickly picked up on that, especially for all three of us. My brother's the one who really thrives in that sort of live environment. But they then found a specialist school that still did the theatre work, but their acting classes did a predominant focus on that tighter window for screen, whether it was commercial, whether it was television, whether it was film. And they also acted as the agent. So
Oh,
I think I joined that school. I don't even think I was a teenager at that point. I was very young. Um, and I remember being very upset because I'd found this culture of friends and
mm,
this environment. At that time, I was very, very apprehensive to the idea of change. That
yeah.
was sort of my thing as out of the three siblings growing up. And I remember going into my first class, and the other kids there were they were all established, and they were going out and working. I felt very, very new and thought that I'd be the worst in the class.
Mm,
Um, but then I got into it, and I was going out and working all the time, and I've always felt more comfortable in front of the screen than I ever did on stage. And that's sometimes that's the reverse case for actors. They prefer
yeah.
that live environment. They prefer the the buzz that you get from a live reaction, or from doing everything in the moment. But for me, I have that camaraderie on set where we can, in between takes, we can have a quick laugh and joke around. Then you got to get
Mm,
back into character. That's what's always resonated with me the most. And it was that, yeah. If I hadn't have made that transition from the theatre school to the acting, like the acting on camera school, I don't know if I'd be here. I may have lost my love of acting
yeah.
if I hadn't have made that transition. So yeah, it was from a very young age, thankfully, that my parents noticed that in me.
That's good. Well, I'm glad that they did.
Me too. I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
Much happier.
Yeah. Is there something that you need on set that a theatre school could never have taught you or that didn't teach you?
Um, Theatre always taught me the big, bold movements.
Yeah.
You have a much bigger window to act within. Whereas when you're on camera, you have to be able to sell and tell a story in such a small frame. If you're doing it in the
Yeah.
horizontal format, if you're doing it in the vertical format, you have an even tighter window because obviously our bodies are built vertically.
Yeah.
So you have to learn how to project your emotions, how to sell within this, within the span of a 5 minute scene, for example. You have to you have to be able to give off being angry, loving, kind, remorseful, all those sorts of things. Whether you're playing the hero, whether you're playing the villain, you have to do it in a much tighter window.
Yeah.
And that's again in the theatre world, you're much bigger. So
Mm.
I've learned it's a much better, sorry, not better. It's a much more different style of acting that I've learned. Both are great, and both work for different people in different formats depending on what career you're pursuing. Um, but yeah, I couldn't have learned how to act in the type frame that I now act in, for example, in the theatre.
Yeah. Okay. All right. With you as the lead character, is there a book you would love to
Yep.
see adapted to screen?
There's two.
Okay.
My favorite book ever growing up, and it's one to this day that's in my home here in California. I took it from my dad and I refused to give it back to him. And I probably won't ever take it back across the pond for that exact
Hmm.
reason. It was a book, and I believe the author is an Australian man called Matthew Riley. And it's a book called Ice Station. And the lead character in that, I loved his sort of, again, it's about aura. I love the aura that he gave off. He was that sort of stoic leader, but he had the respect of everybody. And it was a great action piece. And the thing I love the most about screen work is that we have the opportunity to go and film all around the world.
Yeah.
You have the opportunity for adventure. And this book would have been filmed it was in Antarctica, it was based. But it's so much fun. And then from a fantasy perspective, there's a fantasy book which I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with, called The Court of Thorns and Roses. And there is a lot of different male characters in that I would jump at the chance to play. Whether or not I played the main male character, whether or not I played one of his two best friends and brothers, they're all great. And you've got the action, which is what I love gravitating towards.
Mhm.
You have the strong stoic appearances. You have the happy loving moments. And it's just a different realm that I've yet to explore. I haven't explored the fantasy realm yet, and
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that call. So if anybody's wanting me to do that,
Mhm.
I'm available. Um, so yeah, I'd say those two books. If I was to keep it if I was to keep it sort of grounded and humanized, Ice Station. If I was to go into a fantasy realm or an otherworldly experience, it would be the Court of Thorns and Roses series.
Okay. Cool. I wanna read Ice Station now. That one sounds
It's a lot of fun. It's a read. It's a thick
mm.
book. It's a read.
Oh,
But
not very big reader. Do they have it on audio?
I oh I grew up. I must have read that book 4 or 5 times alone when I was in school.
Yeah.
I was hooked by it.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah.
that's good. That's good. All right. Have you ever had to unlearn something about your acting process?
Yeah, I'm doing it every single day for me. I'm a perfectionist, and if I watch a self tape back, I can think I've absolutely nailed that. I couldn't give a better performance, but this blade of hair is out of place. I go back
Yeah.
and I do the entire thing over again, and I can fixate on that one problem for an
Yeah.
hour without even realizing it. I
Okay.
can just keep doing the same thing. The scene itself, once you've edited it down, it's a minute and a half.
Yeah.
But it can take me an hour to do it because the hair is not right, or
Mm.
my shoulder was too low, or my eyebrow wasn't raised high enough when I was, doing whatever.
Yeah.
Those sorts of things I've had to learn that I can't control everything.
Mm.
Every I can't control every finite detail. I can control the performance that I give off, and that's the important bit at the end of the day
Yeah.
that directors, casting directors, producers want to see, and that's what they care about.
Yeah.
That's an ever learning thing for me because I've been a perfectionist ever since I was a child. And yeah, it's something because I knew that I had a deadline today.
Mhm.
I knew that you can't do this. You
Yeah.
can't find the best lighting, get it done. We'll edit the we'll edit the tapes tonight, and then if they're not great, we do it again tomorrow. We get up early before we work out. We do the tapes, we get it done, and
Yeah.
don't fixate on it. So that's something I'm constantly learning how to undo, I suppose. It's a good thing to have
Yeah.
for certain things, but other things when you have deadlines,
Yeah.
it's sometimes detrimental.
sometimes you just have to accept it is what it is, let it go, and
Yeah,
just move on.
yeah, exactly. So
And I know
yeah,
for a fact that if they're going to cast you, they're not going to care about your hair. They're going to care about your
they,
performance.
they shouldn't do. They shouldn't
They
do.
shouldn't do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty clear with casting directors that if you need my hair to be different, if you need me to shave my hair down, if you need to make me go blonde for a role, great. I'm all in favor of it. But when I'm doing it myself, sometimes it goes out of my head, and
Mhm.
I need to stop.
Yeah. It's a learning process.
Hmm.
And one day you'll just be like, yep, okay, I'm good. And
Oh,
you'll do it.
I pray for that
Yeah.
day.
I believe in you.
Thank you.
Okay. What's one lesson from your experiences you can pass on to other actors?
Enjoy it.
Yep.
Just enjoy it. Have fun with it. This is it's the best industry to be in my opinion, because we're getting. I saw this quote a while back. I forget who said it, but I'm essentially being paid to play dress up for a living.
Yep.
I get, people do my hair, they do my makeup. Other people make me sound good. All I have to remember to do is give the best performance.
Yeah.
And if you're too rigid, it it translates to looking awkward and uncomfortable.
Mm.
Like, you've been given this great opportunity to be a character, whether it's the hero, whether it's the villain, whether you're just in the background. I used to do background work, and I made that was sort of what I did going through school as a way of just making a bit of extra money. And you embrace every moment you can, because you never know when the opportunity you'll have currently is going to be your last opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make the most of it. Talk to people. Uh, Take note of their stories. Take note of who they are as a person. Um, Learn everything you can whilst you're on the job. If you get a free moment, listen to what the director's saying to the gaffer. Listen to what uh, the producers are talking about in amongst themselves during break. When everyone's having their half-hour meal, just listen. Or if you're in a table with a bunch of people, just get to know people. Expand your
Mm.
circle, because you never know when that person you're sitting next to might be the next big person. Everyone
Yeah.
starts from somewhere. So just absorb, be a sponge when you're on set.
Yeah.
Absolutely do your best to make sure that you retain as much information and learn as many names and faces as you can.
Yeah.
So
That's good advice.
I think that's what I would give to anybody if it was their first job. Definitely. It's very important.
Mm. Okay. Now, another advice question. What advice would you give someone who was thinking about moving to a new country to pursue acting?
If you have the opportunity to do it, do it.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, if you know that you're going to have, oh, sorry, that was the lid on my water bottle. That scared me then. Um, I I always wanted to have the chance to go and film around the world. When I was offered the opportunity to go and film in China, it was a lead project as well. But it was a different culture, it was a different world, and it's somewhere I'd always wanted to try visiting, let alone working. And
Yeah.
it's it's such an exciting opportunity that you never know when you're going to get it again. The same sort of thing with when you're on set. Just be a sponge.
Yeah.
You can always go back and work in England. You can always go and
Mm.
work in if you're a US citizen, you can always go back and work in America. If you get the chance to go and work in Europe, if you get the chance to go and work in Asia, Australia, go do it. There's literally, if nothing is stopping you from doing it, go and do it. Go and experience a different part of life. And the worst thing that you can always do is just say, not for me. I'll go back home.
Yeah.
You know, you'll never know until you do it. And
Yeah.
and that's been the thing for me with not just going from England to America, but going from New York to Los Angeles. And then subsequently, I've had the opportunity to go and do China. I would love to go and film in Turkey. I'm
Mm.
writing a project right now that it's been around the rumor mill, but we're wanting to film it in Italy or London.
Yeah.
And it's just a different exciting thing you can have the chance to do. So go do it.
Mm.
Just that's
Definitely.
as simple as I can say, just go do it. And as I said before, if you don't like it, go back to your home base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been
I wish I
telling
could give a
myself
bigger
that
answer.
that.
I wish
Hey?
I could give a bigger answer than that. I
No,
can't.
no.
It's
I love
literally
it. Just do it.
it's that concise. Just go do it.
Yeah. I'm
So
got in my mind that just go do it. I really want to come to Verticon next year, and I barely
yeah,
I don't even have a passport yet, so I've never traveled outside the country. But I'm like, you know what? Just
yeah,
do it. If you can do it, just do it. So
yeah.
I'm trying. I'm going to try.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
We had someone at Verticon this year who forgive me if you watch this and I get it wrong. Her and her daughter came, I believe it was from Azerbaijan.
Okay.
Like, that's incredible.
Mm.
And
Yep.
I got the chance to say hello to them, and it was staggering that people came from that far away just to see us and meet us.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's wonderful. So yeah, please, it would be great to see you next year. I don't even know if I'm
Yeah.
being invited back to Verticon, but if I do,
I'm sure
I
you
hope to
will.
see you there. I hope
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Hopefully.